Hey all, good morning everybody, and happy Christmas Eve. Coming up on Merry Christmas after midnight tonight. Santa will be tracking down from the North Pole with no help from the Arctic Oscillation now. Alright, so here's what we got this morning going on across the lower 48. Our storm system, the one that was going to create our Christmas snow and link up with this feature coming across. As you can see, they're not timed. The northern branch system is leaving, the southern branch system is left behind, hence no snowstorm, or no storm. Probably would have been a combination of rain and snow. Alright, but what we're left behind here is will be a little disturbance if you look at the very last frame here. A lot of disturbance going to come down the pike, and perhaps we'll get some snow showers and snow squalls in northern Pennsylvania through central Pennsylvania to about this point, and maybe a few snow flurries sneak down to the Delaware Valley come tomorrow afternoon. I think for today we're probably closing out on our chances for any snow. Let's get this in motion. They're starting to see a little bit of subtle changes in the pattern. You're starting to get the idea that some of the pieces of energy are starting to come down off the northern branch a little bit more. But we still have this deadly flow of Pacific air coming in off the Pacific. But you can see here at the last frame we are starting to get a little bit of a ridging going on. Now this has been happening at breakdown and then it comes east. But you can notice there some cold air is starting to move southeast across Hudson Bay. So subtle changes are good. We still got this very strong subtropical jet. Look at this, all the way from basically the east of the Canadian Maritimes through the southeastern states, through Texas, through central Mexico, and way straight out into the Pacific. Folks, this, and I continue to say this, and I've been saying it since November, has been a feature that's been consistent, and it's our moisture path. And I'm telling you, folks, we get this Arctic Oscillation to cooperate a little bit, and the NAO to send down and block in the cold air here. Eventually, one of these upper level lows that come in over the top of our wheel of warmth out here in the Pacific is going to cause mayhem for this part of the country in January and February. Down the road, speculation right now. It's a what if, but we'll see what happens. Meantime, the southeast ridge still holding on, but got some good news with that. Let's go to the NAO real quick. And here's the NAO, very positive here in much of December. The downward trend has been continuing, and now we're getting in here into the first week of this January, and some of the members are starting to go negative. This is a good sign if you want to block in the cold air for the storms coming up the East Coast. Talking of cold air, let's go to the current. This is all hamweather.com. The last one, the NAO, is from NOAA. Look at this, Caribou, 0 degrees this morning. So you get the idea that the cold air is up here. It's just not making any inroads south and east quite yet. 0 degrees in Caribou is much colder than what it's been. They got some snowpack up here from yesterday's rocket storm. 32 now in New York City. But look at the difference here as we go north to south. 32 in New York, but already 45 degrees here in Washington. So you get the idea that the cold air is just kind of glancing and going back up in this fashion, and that's consistent with what the jet stream is looking like. 34 in Pittsburgh, not all that bad for this time of the year. 27 in Chicago is colder than what they've seen. Up in this area, it's been this cold before. Look at this, 39 degrees up here in northern Montana, a little bit of a schnook wind, and that goes up into Calgary, it's in the 30s. Very warm for this time of the year out there. But look at this cold air down here, 10 degrees right now down here in southwestern New Mexico with the fresh new snowpack. These upper level lows, they come down, they drag in the cold air, and El Paso, Texas, sitting at 28 degrees, but a white Christmas coming up with their 1 to 3 inches on the ground. Just impressive. So, needless to say, El Paso, Texas, interesting. 1 and 7/10 of an inch of snow is the exact same 1 and 7/10 of an inch of snow so far that Chicago's seen all year. So, interesting to see. Here's your bubble of warmth, your southeast ridge sitting here, already near 80 degrees in Miami. Just beautiful down there if you're having any vacation plans this week. So, where do we go from here? Well, let's go up into Canada here for a minute, also from hamweather.com. You can see that the cold air was up in this region for the last week. Now this area has broken off, and look at this, negative 22 degrees now. This is an apparent temperature, actual temperatures. Wind chills running 30, 35 below. and this air came down to about this area here, but it's already being deflected. There's no inroads south and east yet. 41 degrees out here in Alberta, province of Alberta. That's pretty warm for this time of the year. All the warmth coming off the Pacific, and that's what's locking up our cold air up here. Cold air is once again starting to rebuild again, but with the AO positive, there's just no way to get this cold air down yet. So where do we go from here? Well, here's the H5 maps of the GFS, and I want you to notice something here, a little bit of a good sign. If you're looking for a pattern change, let's let it go all the way out here. Here's a southeast ridge here. Look at it. It's propagating. Oh wait, it's weakening and going away. The southeast ridge may finally get quashed down. Look at the clippers that start coming down. Look at that. What a beautiful sight. And beautiful sight if you're looking at the GFS this morning. Here's a southeast ridge getting squashed down. One low. Here's your Tuesday storm. Seems to be the kicker that starts allowing the clippers to start coming down. In a typical La Nina pattern, we do see the clippers, and so what I was talking about yesterday. And voila, we go into the end of the year, and here goes one clipper, comes another. Here goes a Tuesday storm with 1 to 2 inches of rain, probably 3/4 inch to an inch of rain. Here comes another clipper, another clipper, another clipper, and then watch late in the period here. Here goes that upper level low. Notice this time the upper level low, instead of being in this general area or this general area, is now sitting in northern Mexico. Here, watch. Here we go. Here are your clippers. Here comes your cold air supply off the northern branch. Southeast ridge is gone. And there, at the very last frame there, you have what appears to be energy waiting and ready. Could it be that we see a snowstorm in the eastern United States come up towards, say, January 10th to the 12th time period? It's all speculation right now. The NAO will eventually go negative. These cold air blasts coming off of the clippers, finally, the southeast ridge is gone, allowing that to happen. We'll be enforcing some cold shots. Now, the question is, how much of this subtropical jet is left over to cause a major East Coast snowstorm come in January and probably a few times in February. That's all I have for you today. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com. Have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully Christmas wishes will come true, and we finally start tapping into some of this cold air up here in northern Canada to come down. Right now, the best I can tell you is that the high pressure southeast ridge appears that it's going to get squashed, which is it's a start towards snow. Thanks and have a good day. Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com.